Hello, my bowl of mixed berries, strawberries, and raspberries you can come to. Friends, the crowd's always wrong. You know the crowd sucks. They're not really always wrong, but in the middle part, they have some glory. They're like, I told you it's going to keep going up, but it's kind of like being bearish at the bottom of October 2022, right before the FTX collapse. It's like the crowd is bearish, and then we have like one last bip, and then we go up. It's kind of like they're bearish towards the end. Okay, they're not bearish at the exact bottom. They're just bearish towards the end. Just like when they're bullish, okay, on average, they're bullish towards the ends of the move as well. Now, I'm going to show you this, friends. This is a scheduled post from the 16th of October. Look at this, okay? I am posting this to 2024. Today, there are heaps of angry people on Twitter arguing about different poop coins, centralization, and pitchforking. Most believe the worst is yet to come. Nobody is buying Bitcoin at 19,000 or Ethereum at 1,250. Look at this picture of this guy in the room. Red candles going down. That's all we're seeing, friends. Candles going down. And you have the little logos in here as well. So that was pretty much what the scenario looked like back then. And if we go back now to see where we were, that was October here. So a lot of people, friends, you got to remember, a lot of people here, we still went down. Richard Hart's 10K thing was here. And then guess what? Imagine Richard Hart, man. Look, friends, how right do you think Richard Hart felt when it was right here? He was like, right. He was like, oh, we're definitely going to 10K now. Bang! And then he capitulates into FOMO buying pretty much Ethereum 3,800. But it is FOMO buying, actually, when you think about it. It has to be because you're scared of it going to 10K, so you buy up at 3,800. So that's the fear of it going up. So it's crazy how these things happen. Now, I just got to remind you, the crowd believes Solana and Coinbase will continue the season for the rest of the whole year and continue the whole bull market. So that's just something to think about. We don't know. The crowd has also bought up AI coins, decentralized penis, decentralized science, and restaking stuff. The crowd has priced them up much, much higher in the past 6 months. A lot of people think they're great. The crowd has also bought a lot of meme coins up, right? And I think it's going to just go through a testing period, friends, because I just told you so many times I log this stuff. If you ever see my scheduled post like that, friends, it's because I'm just telling you I've done this in the past. I schedule these out. You can use a schedule feature on Twitter, 16th October, okay? I schedule out a market. I go, hey, everyone's doing this right now. I wonder what happens from this moment. And you got to see, man, the crowd, everyone was literally pitchforking. They're arguing all these other stuff. By the way, if you notice, friends, that was, arguing, that is, and pitchforking, that's anger phase. You see that? That was anger phase from the Wall Street cheat sheet. And I can go back and I can show you. That's why, friends, you got to be really on board with this. Look at this. It was anger. Anger was down here. Okay, anger. That's right here, friends. Anger. Who went down? Who shorted the market? How comes Luna? What's all these going on? You see that? That's pretty much it. Then we went into depression, and then sweet. That was fantastic that we went through that phase. Now, obviously, we're waiting to see if we're going to have that right now. That's why, friends, the topic of this video, then you get to see, okay, the crowd's wrong and stuff. Now, this is where it gets really juicy. Because I'm just going to show you, right? So, friends, this is, everyone's looking at these little short-term stuff. This is Bitcoin's 4-hour chart now, okay? And we're going to play some nice energy music for these people because you're wasting your time. Yeah, it's going to double bottom. It's going to go down to 55K and whatever. And I could just quickly show you that as well. So there is, friends, a weekly chart, 21 EMA, the moving average here. You can put it there. And I'm just going to show you that when it comes to Bitcoin, 55K, the 21 EMA is at 55K. So do we have a date with the devil there? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Just identifying what's happening out there for you. Let's speak about the cycles now. Where are we? What's going on? Now, friends, I love you all. Like, subscribe, keep your elbows very, very sharp, keep your fluffy slippers on. I have done those polls and I realized, oh, wow, the crowd now believes in a left translated cycle. Left translated, 0 of you believed in it in 2022 when I was conceptualizing it. I didn't call it left translated because I'm not a cycle type of dude. I just call it the dark prophecy because I was like, oh, it is. Because what it means is, it means it's really dark. Now, to protect myself and you, I said, look, we could go as little as 80K. We can get there. So if we go higher, sweet. But we could stop there. Okay, we could stop there. And it's for our protection. Now, we hope, okay, I'm never going to talk like this, but don't ever get this cocky attitude. Be like, oh, Bitcoin's obviously going to 100K this year. Oh, it's obviously going. They don't know shit, man. They don't know anything, friends. They are the crowd. Okay, I don't care what the talking heads say. I don't care that guy made a mad trade years ago. I don't care. I'm telling you now, they are not bigger than the market. They are not the market. Okay, they are not the market's mind. They're a tiny little pin drop. I've seen everything happen, man. All right. Now, these are the different scenarios, friends. I'm going to go through these different cycle scenarios, and I'm just going to show it to you, just so you know. Okay, so if we got a left translated cycle, that's what it would look like. Okay, it would look like Bitcoin rushing up this year, up here, and then we have a lower high here. But I'm just going to show you this. Okay, so don't worry about these prices. Yeah, it says 170K, whatever. Don't focus on these prices per se. But this part will be Bitcoin's fear buy. This part would be an altcoin rally. This is around the April mark. You know, it's around that same time. Wow, I just matched it up 12 months after the Bitcoin halvening, which would complete the 4th time where altcoins peak. Okay, because as it's done every single cycle. Remember, friends, if you've been watching my channel, you know, okay, if this happens again, we got to be ready for April 2025. That's it. No one else is talking about it. We'll talk about it. So if we got this left translated cycle, right, it would basically be, this is 2 years of death. We literally have just been going down for 2 years after that point. Now, it doesn't feel like you're going down, friends. You got to remember, there are these glimmers of hope. We've bottomed. We've bottomed. We've bottomed. We haven't bottomed. And that's probably the bottom. It might happen like that, friends. It literally might happen like that. We've bottomed. No, we haven't. We've bottomed. Now we haven't. And then that's 2 years after the top. That's, wow, that's crazy. I know that's a long time, friends. Because normally, right, look how short this period of time is. That's what it's meant to be, right? We're meant to bottom out at the end of 2025, but it would be at the end of 2026. That's why it's left translated, okay? So this would be a fear panic buy if we got it. Now, this is now a 30%, 35% of the crowd believes this, by the way. 35% believes in this left translated. It used to be 0. Now it's a third. Now you might ask me, okay, what about a scenario where we just do a normal 4-year cycle? Okay, what would a normal one look like? It would look like this, okay? So in the normal 4-year cycle, instead of peaking, so this would be left translated, where we go wee like that. We don't do that. Instead, we'll go sideways, and then we just continue up. Okay, we might actually go higher because we're able to grind out higher. Okay, so you see these differences. Instead of peaking up here, we peak here. That's a normal 4-year cycle, and then we spend the year going down. So it's interesting, right? Whether it's left translated or it's a normal 4-year, the bottom's in, I guess, the last quarter for Q4 of 2026. So whether we top out this year or top out next year, it's basically saying don't buy Bitcoin until the end. Now, here's the thing, friends. The crypto industry is morphing and changing. We might find along the way down. So even though if Bitcoin's price, friends, even if it doesn't do it, let's say Bitcoin does have a left-hand side, you might find when it bottoms, there's these mini alt seasons along the way as everything dies. You might find that. You don't know. I'm just opening your mind to something like that. Right? But that will be a normal 4-year cycle to do that. So that's pretty much it. Look, obviously, you have 35% believe in left translated, 35% normal 4-year. Then there's a final 30% they believe in an extended cycle. Now, extended cycle, I'm just going to guess, friends. I know people think of this as extended cycle. They think we just keep going up and up and up and up. But actually, it might mean a red 2024 year. And you're like, wait a minute, red, I didn't sign up for that. That's what it would look like here. Okay. It would look like we go sideways. Well, maybe there's a crash here. We poke up at the end and everyone thinks left translated. But actually, something happens. And by the end of the year, we're down. Okay. Dark prophecy. So no one's expecting that. No one. Okay, maybe just crap it, but no one's expecting that. I'm just telling you. Okay, now what's red 2024 mean? Remember, Bitcoin opened the year at 42K. If we finish at under 42K, it's red. All right, now I hope it doesn't happen, but look, I'm not scare you anything, friends. I know the chances of it. You don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm just awareing you. No one expects it, which means if no one expects it, and then Bitcoin scoops up here and starts going to $80,000, everyone's going to be turbo leveraged long. Going into 2025. This is my dark prophecy, friends. Going into 2025, or maybe even earlier. You never know, man. You never know. And then, what if we snap down? And obviously, what do people say? Hey, we can't snap down. Bitcoin ETF. I'll go, keep talking all you want. ETF means nothing, all right? You know what matters? The stock market. And the stock market can do whatever she wants. The S&P 500. Understand? That's the big daddy. So now you are prepared, friends. But then I would like you to know, that's why I'm telling you this. If we get this, we're literally going up for 2 years. long everything. Literally, sell your house, sell your kids. Don't sell your squeaky chair. Maybe you have to sell your squeaky chair, friends. If we get a red this year, it will be so disastrous. So many people exit. We're going up for 2 years. We're going up. Because, friends, I made the videos for you last year. I told you too many times. We have never seen a red Bitcoin halvening year. Ever. Okay? So, I hope we don't get it. But I'm just awareing you of what's going on in the marketplace, where people's expectations are, you know? So, obviously, everyone expects, oh, what about the zombie virus or anything? No, it could just be something else, friends. You know, the yield curve, friends, is still deeply, deeply, deeply inverted. And that's why I just want to remind you, okay, these are the polls, just so you can read it here nicely, friends. I just want to tell you the odds, right? 35% believe left translated, 35% believe normal 4 year, 30% believe we extend, but 0% believe we finish red. So the lowest odds are we finish down this year, it's a dark prophecy, and we get an extended bull cycle. That's the lowest odds. No one's pricing that in. What does that mean? How does that play? I don't know, man. I don't know, friends. I don't have all the answers. I'm just telling you, isn't that interesting? That's the weak point. Don't you want to know, friends? That's the weak point. You want to know that. So, once again, not repeating, not saying, okay, we finished red this year, but yes, that was what it would be. It would be, we finished red, because remember, friends, if we finished red this year, I know you probably think, ETF and all this. I go, yeah. What if the US government says we're banning self-custody of crypto? What if they're taking down Tether? Friends, I literally got linked or something. Oh, Russia avoiding sanctions using Tether. What if they take down Tether? We go, wee! I'm telling you, friends, I'm not just trying to scare you. Oh, no. I'm just telling you this can happen, okay? And if that happens, screw them. We don't need them, okay? Shouldn't have stable coins anyway. That's the thing. Should not have stable coins anyway. You should be turbo long. But I'm telling you, it can happen. So I want to alert you to the yield curve inversion, friends. Remember the yield curve inversion. Look at this. When it inverted, .com bubble, subprime. This was 2001. Okay, this was the tech burst, 1999, 2000. This was 2008 GFC. This was the zombie virus. Okay, and you're wondering, why didn't the zombie virus invert that hard? It was because, friends, the scum insiders. How did the inverted yield curve predict the zombie virus? Listen to George Gammon. Shout out to Georgie Boo. George Gammon, okay, he revealed everyone. I was talking to you about this last year, but he put it so eloquently. Well, the insider bug eater, those scum, friends, these are billion dollar, multi-trillion dollar asset allocations. Huge. The biggest in the world. They need to find an edge. And they have bug eater friends. So when there's a plan of something pre-programmed to come out, they have scientists and researchers and reporters in every country. Because you remember, friends, if you're managing $100 billion, you can afford to pay somebody as a researcher in every single country around the world. They can hire someone who works so they can get their ear on the ground, so they can find out anything that's happening. Is it going to be a famine? Is a war going to break out over here? Is a zombie virus going to come out from somewhere in China, wink, wink, or a lab or whatever, you know what I mean? They have someone everywhere. So they're collecting information earlier than the market. They're looking for an edge. You got hundreds of billions of dollars, man. Of course you can afford to pay a few million out here, right? Nothing. Because you're trying to make like a huge return. So that's why the inverted yield curve with the zombie virus, it started inverting, but so many insiders knew that this pre-programmed world shutdown was coming. Okay, they stopped doing the wrong trade on the yield curve. And that's why what happens is it just stops here. Basically, in a nutshell, the world shutdown was so pre-planned. The pandemic, if you will, was so like it was. There were too many people who were hearing about it now early, and they knew the government stands and all this stuff, that word gets out too much. And so even the suckers who were taking the other sides of the trade, they go, oh, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, friends, you go to a party and there's a room that no one goes in, and everyone's like outside in the room. And you go in there, you're like, that's weird. Why is no one in this room? And you go talk to everyone, and everyone's just looking at you in the room. They're just looking at you, but they don't say anything. You're like, hey, why isn't anybody in this room? And they turn around. You see what I mean? You're literally that guy. You're like, wait a minute, why isn't anybody in this room? And you go in there and you realize someone ripped a very smelly egg fart in there. See? But they didn't tell you that. But you just knew, like, hey, there's a reason why nobody's occupying it. It's the same thing with the yield curve, okay? You're like, hey, there's a reason why people aren't paying a certain price for the bonds anymore. And it just starts reverting. And guess how does it actually invert hard, friends? It's the US Fed going, hey, we got to cut rates now. But the move's already done. Bang. When they cut rates, that's how it uninverts, okay? So that chart, friends, I actually have it for you. But the actual proper chart of how we actually draw it, or it's covered on my show. Here we are right now. This is the yield curve, okay? So this is, remember, we're looking at the inverter over there. So this is insider bugs, bug eaters again. This is the zombie virus one. And here we are, bang. Look at this. The mostly deep inverted yield curve. So in a nutshell, it means they know something big is coming. They know something really, really, really big is coming. Really big, really devastating. Okay, but be careful how we use that word devastating because it's more of interest rate differential devastating. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, we're all talking about inflation. This inverted yield curve is basically saying you don't have to worry about inflation. You got to worry about deflation. What? How's that happen? Well, when the news comes out, friends, the US Fed, when they cut rates, this uninverts, and then that's the bad news. When they start cutting rates, it's because, uh-oh, bad stuff, and that's everything. That's the markets crashing, by the way. You see this zombie virus? This is markets crashing in April here. Bang. You see that? When it starts uninverting, that's the bad part. This is the crash. This is the crash. The crash part is the going up part. Crash. That's the stock market, Bitcoin, they're all synced. So it's wonderful, right? Isn't it? So now I want to show you that picture again. Where are we now, friends? We are right here. We are literally all the way up here. What's coming? I know they know something. That's why we all thought, the fake World War III. Not so fast. I thought so too. Maybe fake World War III. I don't know. Fake alien invasion. You think about it. All right. So the inverted yield curve, friends, it's going to come back to haunt us somewhere. That's why I'm saying it might haunt us at the end of this year. It could send the markets down that much. Bitcoin snaps out of that cycle. And the liquidity cycle gets thrown out. And then they have to print money up only. But you got to remember, man, they printed money, friends. And how long did it last for? I don't know. But it's gonna be, look, no matter what happens, we're still long spot altcoins. It's just that we don't have any leverage. Don't do any leverage. Like if Bitcoin pings 55K, you're not wiped out. If it pings 50K, you're not wiped out. If it pings 40K, you're not wiped out. Okay, you don't have any leverage longs and stuff up over there over time. You don't, so you have nothing to worry about. But there are people who do, friends. There are people who bought after the Bitcoin spot ETF. They bought at 45 to 48K. That's why I would think like, look, man, I don't want this scenario to happen, but friends, you know this, right? They bought after the Bitcoin spot ETF. I mean, wouldn't it be nasty if we went up and at the end of the year, we come back down to get the Bitcoin spot ETF people out, right? And then, hey, up only. If that happened, friends, if that happened, hey, at least I've told you, man, don't do leverage. You don't do leverage. Even though, so once again, remind you, even though we think, yeah, it could happen, we don't get out, we stay long. We're just trying to be sharp when it comes to these. And you gotta respect these trends because people do leverage when they're overconfident. And they're overconfident when they don't understand the risks. Because they don't understand the risks because they're like, hey, no one ever told me of a scenario where we could go down. I just gave you one. And I gave you a really good one, actually. All right. So, by the way, a lot of people are going to go, I know, whenever I say this, interesting, you guys always say, what's going to happen to altcoins? What's going to happen to altcoins? Look, what I'm about to tell you is very controversial, but you're probably not going to believe me. Altcoins will do well. Altcoins will do well. Now, of course, it's going to be weak and stuff, but why will they do well? It's because altcoins still haven't had euphoria market-wide. So, I reckon when this crash at the end of the year, this crash, I think, it's not all coins go up. They go down with it. It's just that they don't drop as much as you think. They're actually pretty strong. And it's not because they're special. It's just because it's been so much time of rinsing out weak hands. There's no one else left to quit, okay? Because everybody sold to go buy the top of Solana and Coinbase and all that stuff. They've sold all the weak hands have been selling over time, okay? So friends, that's the market. If we got that scenario, I hope we don't. But if we got that, that's the market saying to you, hey, here's your gift. Pretty much, here's your gift. You don't have to sit through much. You know, your friends, you might find, you know, Bitcoin's down 40%, altcoins down 30%. You might find that. Or not, yeah, 30%, and then like recover straight away. That's pretty much how it works. And by the way, it happened in Sommi virus. Strong altcoins went down in Bitcoin and it continued up, okay? So you know these scenarios, right? Left translated or normal one or whatever. It's just fully random. You know, we are ready for no matter what happens, okay? We're ready. If you guys want to get super euphoric in the next 3 to 4 months, okay. If we want us to wait until April 2025, okay. If you want to go the whole 4-year cycle, okay. If you want to give us a dark prophecy, okay. It doesn't matter. We're going to be fine. Make sure you like, subscribe. Catch you soon.